Hello, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome back if you are not. My name is Kayla, and I'm the owner and lead wedding planner here at Transformed Events, where we help DIY couples to ball out on a budget. As you can see from the title of this video, today we are chatting about navigating the holidays as a newly engaged couple. And while being newly engaged is super duper exciting, right? It's also a time where your relationship starts getting more serious. You start to have deeper conversations about what you want your life to look like together, both now and in the future. So today we're going to be chatting about navigating holidays as a newly engaged couple, but this also applies to recently married couples as well. So if you have a friend who recently got married, go ahead and share this video with them. We're going to break this topic down into kind of two major parts. The first is planning for the holiday season, like whose homes you'll be visiting, having those sorts of conversations around that, but really like a lot of emotions that can come out during this time as well. And then the second part is during the actual holidays, kind of being around people, how to answer some frequently asked questions, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and jump right into the logistics portion of the video and planning for the holiday season. So maybe you have spent holidays together before you got engaged, maybe you haven't, but even if you have, people tell me all the time that it is just different still. So the first thing you guys should be thinking about and talking through together is what you want your holiday season to look like. Are your families both close or are they further away? If they're close, will you be going to multiple places on the day of the holiday, or will you alternate holidays with family members? Do you want to host one of the holidays, have both of your families come to your home either now or down the road? Will you be flying somewhere if they're farther away? You know, whose house are you going to go to, right? All those things. These are the conversations to be having during this time so that there's no surprise later on, and most importantly, so that you two are just constantly on the same page. For me personally, my holidays growing up were always complicated because my parents got divorced when I was pretty young. So I would be like half my mom's house, half my dad's house, but then there were also some family members who didn't talk to other family members, so they had to be at their own stop, and it was just always a lot. So then when I got engaged and later married, and we had to plan to incorporate my husband's family as well, I just remember feeling so overwhelmed. Like there was this one Thanksgiving where we literally went to 5 different houses and we were just out all day. Number one, I was physically and socially exhausted, and I felt like we did more traveling than actually enjoying the holiday. But number two, we both started feeling like we didn't spend enough time with either family. So it was basically like a big waste, right? Because we were just rushing to and fro. So having these conversations ahead of time can allow you two to think both idealistically and objectively about your wants, your needs, maybe even get creative about spreading that time out, like having a day before Thanksgiving lunch at a restaurant or a day after Thanksgiving brunch, and other sort of creative solutions to avoid burnout and to spend an adequate amount of time with everyone. I would even suggest talking about what you want your further away futures to look like. So for example, if you're planning on having kids, will the holiday routine stay the same? Or do you want to create new traditions for when your kids enter the scene? Or are you planning on moving maybe in the next few years and might have to readjust what those holidays are going to look like? Maybe you'll have to fly instead of driving, things like that. I know that these conversations can be tough and sort of suck the joy out of both the engagement season and the holiday season, but at the end of the day, being engaged is about so much more than just planning a great wedding and having a nice ring to show off. It's about truly preparing you for what it will be like to be married, and you two need to be on the same page about those major things before taking that next step. Because I can promise you it's going to be a lot less of a fun time if you wait to have these tough conversations once the deal is sealed. So now let's hop on over to the second part, which is you're at so-and-so's house, you're around families, you're having a great time, and boom, you're getting bombarded with questions about the wedding, about your life together, all this stuff. Let me start by saying this. You have the right to say or to not say whatever you want to whomever you want to say or not say it to. What do I mean by that? I mean, your business is your business. And if you don't want to tell Aunt Sally about what color scheme you're considering because she loves giving unsolicited opinions and has a big mouth and the whole family will know everything before dinner, you have permission to be selective about the information that you give away. Most people don't have malicious intentions and are genuinely just interested because they're happy for you, but all of the questions can become a lot. Like literally the minute people get engaged these days, it makes me so frustrated because it's like, what's your date? Where's your venue? Am I invited? What are the colors? What kind of dress do you want? And if you don't have every single detail picked out by the time you say yes to the proposal, they're looking at you like, so you're behind on stuff, blah, blah. And it sometimes can just make you feel bad. But you don't need to have every single detail picked out the moment you get engaged. And you certainly don't need to share every single detail if you don't want to, okay? So what can you say to people if you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you really just don't want to share all of your business, right? Here is an example. Kayla, oh my gosh, congratulations. Let me see the ring. It is so, so pretty. Do you have your venue picked out yet? Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much. I love this ring so much. I really appreciate you asking me about the wedding, but James and I have decided not to share any specific details just yet because we just need some extra time to chat about, our shared vision and what we want the day to look like. But I promise you, we will share everything when the time is right for us. And if that person accepts that answer, that is wonderful. But sometimes, and especially people that are closer to you, might push back with something like, girl, stop it. It's just me. I'm not going to tell anyone. You can always talk to me about what you're thinking and stuff. And in that case, you could reply with something like, I know that I can trust you. I love you. It's truly nothing against you. But during this engagement season, we're practicing to be married, and I think that it is really important to have boundaries in our relationship. And sometimes that means keeping some things private for a little longer to demonstrate that mutual respect for each other. Would you agree with that? Now, obviously, those responses are a little more on the formal side, okay? So feel free to tailor them to your relationship with that person and just in general talk how you normally would, okay? Don't sound like a emo response that was canned. But the whole point here is to not let anyone guilt trip you into sharing information you're just not ready to share or feel bad about not doing so. You already have a ton of other emotions going on, a ton of other things during the season, and while people might have the best intentions, sometimes it can just be overwhelming. And I can tell you from personal experience that it does not stop there, okay? Because the second you get married, people are like, okay, so when are you popping out some babies? When are you gonna buy a house? Are you gonna live in, such and such state forever? Are you gonna get a dog, etc., etc., etc.? So this is your reminder this holiday season to set boundaries early, set them often, and you will make it through. But most importantly, remember to keep your partner in the loop with your thoughts, with your feelings, and make sure you guys are on the same page and not allow other people's thoughts and opinions to put a strain on your relationship and what you two collectively decide what is best for you. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share it with a friend who just got engaged. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!